Okay, we're going to clean the battery and put some new anti-acids washers and solution on. Note the acid that has accumulated around here. And what we're going to do, we're going to wet that and then put baking soda on it to neutralize the acid. First thing we're going to do is get us some water out here and the baking soda. Note that the baking soda is making it bubble. Get us some more water. Let that water and baking soda solution sit on it for a while. I want to be rather generous with the baking soda solution. Let it bubble, because by now it's pretty well neutralized the battery acid. And then after we let it dry, which will be good and dry tomorrow, there are some little felt washers I'll put around here and here to keep the acid from forming, and also some jelly stuff that we'll spread around here that will keep it from forming. Okay, evidently it stopped bubbling, so evidently the acid is all neutralized. What you don't want to do is get soda down in the battery, and that's not possible because this thing is sealed. You simply can't get the soda or the water in the battery from here. You have to go do something else and take these seals off to do that. So there's no danger of you getting the soda water down in the battery and damaging the battery while doing this. But if you don't do it, the acid will literally eat the holders off, and you'll end up with a bad situation. So now we're just going to pour clear water on here and wash all that gunk off. And we'll come back tomorrow when it's dry and put the other stuff on it. What I should do, I should take this off and clean under it, but that's a whole different operation, and really isn't necessary, because when we put the salve, anti-acid salve, it will migrate under there and nullify the acid. Okay, while we're waiting on the battery stuff, we may as well take a little other service here and put the windshield washing fluid, make sure it's full. I've got this partial bottle. Whoops. Well, you didn't need it. I guess we had filled it recently, because it's full. What we're using here for the windshield wiper fluid is an all season, and what that means is that it's good winter and summer, because this one doesn't freeze until it gets down close to zero. So in fact, this one stayed in the car during the winter storm last year, when it got down to like 2 degrees here, and it didn't break the system. So it's a good product. Okay, this is chapter 2. Yesterday we washed the battery off and let the water dry. So today we're going to add little washers, and note there are 2, and it says to disconnect the battery cable. Well, you don't need to do that, because disconnecting the battery cables causes a problem, because that undoes all the radio presets and all that kind of thing. You can get these on without doing that. And it says here, put the red washer over the positive post. So we'll do that first. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut it. just like that. And if you'll notice, it comes with 2 pieces. And I usually try to save both. And this one over here is the positive post. So we're just going to force this thing around it like that. Now then, let's get the this is easier said than done. But we will let it just sit like that. And that washer will stay on there like so. Those are felt washers, so you can just set them under there. They're not going anywhere. Now then, there's another solution I got here because of all the excess acid on the battery, which is like a gel. Put some of that around up here like this, and over here like this. There's a spray made that is easier to use than this, but they didn't have any of that at AutoZone store I was at the other day. So we'll put this on. It's called Battery Terminal and Cable Protector, and AGS is the brand name. I never heard of them before, but that's the only kind I've ever seen. And you put this on like this, and it will kind of spread itself around. Put it around so it can, like I said, it will melt in the heat, find its way back in there where all that acid is. And of course, most of the acid is around the positive terminal, and I frankly have no idea why that is true, but we will apply a liberal amount of this to the battery here since it needs a generous supply of the acid on it. We will let that work on it for a while, and then we'll come back in a few weeks and see what's going on. So now we put the cover back on the positive terminal. Now then, showing you putting the washers on it and putting the salve stuff on it, and I'm going to show you now a battery that's 18 months old, was put on the car 18 months ago, and the day that it was put on the car, I put the washers on. I didn't put any of this stuff on it. I just put the 2 washers on. So let's go have a look at that one. Okay, now here's the reason you really want to put these little washers on the battery terminal. This battery was put on this car a year ago, the 1st of May. I've not touched it since the day it was installed, and I put the washers on it. And there's not one speck of battery acid on it anywhere. And there won't be. Now, in about 6 months, I'll change these again, put new ones on.